Hi everyone, thanks for joining this meeting. And yeah, let's start with the agenda. So I proposed to talk about release 123.2. It's going to be a patch release. And I think it would be good if we can release this next week, maybe Wednesday or Thursday. And these are the topics, the main topics still left. I've been working with Nicolo on Postgres 17. Do you? Okay, so this has been this is not.
No, I'm working on this. The PR so the images are merged and they're there. I'm testing now.
Okay, good. So we've got the images now.
I'm running the end-to-end test with the new beta version. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, good. Okay. And then there's this one, about TLS. I'm actually hesitant to backport this. Normally, I would have backported this, but because we released 123.1 immediately after 123.0. And that's why I'm proposing the release candidate. Okay. I would wait personally, but I would like to get everyone's opinion on this. Okay. If you think it's harmless, I'm fine to change position. But
yeah, I'm the author of the patch, and I think it is harmless. But I also understand the point of Jonathan that say, okay, this is harmless, but it is a change in the interface. The connection to the pod is now encrypted. So, and we have a port that change from HTTP to HTTPS. So if some automation inspection rule or something like that is searching for HTTP traffic, it could be broken. So I think that is a fair point. So probably that deserve to be in a minor release and not in a patch one.
Any other opinions?
Wouldn't such a tool qualify an undocumented, feature, like using something outside of the way it's designed to?
Yes and no, because if you have created some firewall that is expecting HTTP traffic on that port, and then suddenly it become HTTPS, well, I don't think that qualify as hidden feature. It was documented in our documentation that the port was HTTPS. Was not a HTTPS. So we changed that in the documentation now with that patch. So I would say it's rely on something we brought in our documentation. So
why don't we get on a vote here on the full request? I'd rather not backport these, or I think we should backport it, and then make a decision. The idea is to actually push. To be honest, I'm a bit afraid if something, we don't need bad publicity now because we want to reapply for the sandbox. And I saw already some people complaining that we should treat this project as a very critical project, because it's used in production, which is what we've always done, to be honest. But because I'm afraid that we already made a mistake with 123.0. That if we do it again, that's gonna be. I mean, I would hate to have to release you know, within a week because we created problems to somebody. That's you know why that's what drives my uncertainty, to be honest. But in the past I would have just merged if we had end-to-end test and so on. I would have just merged. But
we have end-to-end test, but also the update end-to-end test, so everything is tested. But still, I'm afraid to break someone environment in a patch.
the idea, well, I think the plan. So just to if things go according to what realistically we can do. Basically, this could be done next week, 123.2. If we can get ideally 124.0 release candidate before the Swiss Postgres Day, which is the 27th of June. So just the release candidate. I wanted to talk about, replica cluster switchovers at that conference. So if we at least had a release candidate, that could be good. And then that would allow us to release 124 as planned by mid-July. Because I think if we keep 124 this limb, there are already important changes on the replica switchover side. I think we complete the whole feature with all of this. So from 124, you can actually switch across different Kubernetes clusters, and there could be even 3 or 4, in cascading. Okay, so this is going to be a very powerful story, and then we can concentrate on the CMPGI with 125. So for example, convert Barman Cloud requirement to a plugin. Introduce volume group snapshot API, which is what Leonardo is working on. Maybe just pick one of these, and maybe push another to 126, given that we have moved here from 124 the Barman Cloud requirement. There will be the need to provide Postgres 17 support because
because it's out at the time. Yeah, because that's the time Postgres
exactly.
17
we need
will be
to be ready to support 17 when it comes out. So I think that in a month and a half we will have 124.0 with this feature, with the TLS feature, and we'll be, the users know that it's coming out, that it's a minor release, so they need to read the release notes, and there will be the release candidate, so I think it will be smoother. But anyway, I'm gonna comment here, and then we can decide. But I've already explained why I'd like to postpone.
No, it does make sense to be pushed to 24.
Okay, I think we are reach kind of agreement here, because
I don't know, maybe Jaime worked on these. I would like to know as well, what he thinks.
My comment here, which I made also previously, is why are we going to be more certain about this just by waiting more?
Sorry?
I don't see that waiting more is going to give us any more certainty. Like if you're saying that let's delay because we're going to be testing in this way or testing in that way for a couple of weeks or a month or whatever, I can understand. But here we're just talking about delaying. So, I understand the hesitance.
We are not talking about delaying. We are talking about merging this patch in main only. and then having it in 1.24. And we are going to release a pre-release and ask people to test it. So this is a more wide testing.
Yeah.
If
this
you are
we
interested,
can
you can
merge
test it.
it. We can merge it, but on main only.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah, the point is, should we backport it or not?
No.
No,
No,
I
definitely
think we
not.
shouldn't.
Okay, so that's it. This
Yeah.
should be managed in main,
Yes.
and there we go.
So we can just remove the backport and remove the do not merge tag.
Yeah, it needs to. There are conflicts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Michael, can you do it, please?
Yes,
Go
yes,
ahead.
yes, of course.
So I proceed here. So the idea, I would like to to have a release candidate. We've never done it before, so I think we should get organized in doing it. Do you see any problems? I mean, people that have worked in tagging release.
The release process is not prepared to handle something like 1.24.0-RC1. That's the only issue.
Yeah, but I think if we start, expecting, RC1, there's
No.
RC2.
Yeah. No, I think we can do it, but we need to plan how are we going to manage those RC, and that's it. Not about it, yeah. But we need to work on the release process for a release candidate. That is the only thing.
Who can work on this?
I can.
Okay, maybe Nicola, we talk. Okay, we can talk separately. Okay.
Sure.
Okay, then briefly, this is I mean, last week at the Postgres developer conference, they talked about extensions, but nobody from us was there. I've been thinking a lot about how to package extensions, and I've seen the proposals. They pretty much break immutability. Okay, so I briefly ran this idea through Leonardo and Marco, and they provided some input yesterday as well. We could potentially create another repository for now, containing the extensions, and basically build one container image per extension, and through the plugin enable users to, for example, load, add one extension to the CRD using the plugin. The plugin, correct me if I'm wrong, Marco and Leonardo, could start an init container with that image, pulling down that image. We could even involve the image catalog at some stage, and then we'll deposit the files. We'll run pretty much a script from that image that copies the files of the extensions in a shared volume where we host the extensions. So immutability of the main container will not be broken, and the only way to add an extension is to go through the configuration, declarative configuration. Okay, of course, this is just an idea, but I wanted to share that if we do it this way, for example, the hard work that Isai has done for timescale could, actually, I think timescale even for licensing is different, but I think everyone could build their own extensions and if the operating system matches, everyone will be independent.
Wouldn't
So
this be a nightmare for managing versions and dependencies? Basically, we'd have to do some kind of package management interface, or
the idea is to actually build them together with when you build the images, so they will belong to the same process that builds the other images if we want to. Okay, but I
if
don't
you
know. I
can
mean, we
pick and
just
choose,
eh?
but if you can pick and choose versions, say I want Postgres version 3.2, but timescale 210 and so on, and it wouldn't become very messy? We'd have to
It
build.
could. That's where probably image catalogs could help. But at the same time, that's not any different from what happens outside Kubernetes, where you just install packages. We can't prevent anyone from installing the wrong package or the wrong version in a machine. The other side we were also reflecting on is the system libraries. They probably need to be put in the base image. So, for example, the base layer will also host all the GIS libraries in case you need to install PostGIS. It's complicated. I mean, extensions are not easy.
What's the advantage? Like, why would we want to commit time and resources into this? Like, is the advantage worth it?
That's I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I don't think anyone knows.
I think that the only big advantage here is to let other people create extensions and install extension in our base images, as long as they don't require a modification of the.
I mean, technically, you can always start a container from a CNPG image and just add some stuff on top of it.
Yeah.
I was thinking
Yeah.
of doing that for the timescale,
Yeah.
but I realized that the dependency tree is too complicated, so it's better to merge it upstream in the official one.
Yeah, I think that they don't exclude each other. I think we will still, I mean, the other one will keep working. Okay, so here is more, for example, otherwise, the other option is we create another repository and people, for example, submit new issues saying, I want this extension. We validate, of course, we need to put requirements in terms of licensing and so on, but also we need to clearly say, if you propose an extension, you become the owner of that extension. Okay, this could be another way to solve the problem. Okay, I just wanted to, I think the most important thing to solve is adding new extensions to the images that are managed by the community without polluting the Postgres containers one, which still contains PG vector, and that was my mistake. So yeah.
By the way, the timescale image has PG vector and Postgres and timescale. So if anyone wants it, they can just take that
Now,
one.
I mean, you did a great job there. So yeah, I think it's just providing new ways to do this, and this is probably not something I don't think we'll work on this anytime soon, unless we have kind of a exploration project.
Consider it very wisely, though, because it sounds like this kind of project could explode into a lot of work. And even if this work is not done by us, we'd still have to review a lot of it.
Yeah, and that's what we don't want to do.
Well, if we implement this in a plugin, it could be a separate project with separate maintainers. So
Anyway,
let's.
I don't want to take any more
I-
time. I just conclude with the last item that I remember to submit to KubeCon North America. Okay, and even I think the OK day. Okay, so I leave this, the stage to feature request user management.
So before I spam you with more tickets, I just wanted to ask if this is feasible and something you're interested in. And alternatively, if I can try and approach it from within the Helm chart and see if I can do something from there and just explore the options for user management with credential rotation.
Wouldn't this be done with a plugin?
Again, we can move the whole user management in something external if we want, but it's inside the code. It's already quite isolated. I think. I don't know if.
It's just that I was consulting a customer who needed to have their database exposed to the internet. And usually that's not a problem, but I set up logging and firewall, and it wasn't even 2 weeks, and we started getting login attempts from China. I kid you not. And from that point of view, I was thinking, if we have an API or a method to do credential rotation with a grace period, so the old credential works while pods pick up the new one, that could be awesome and would mitigate, brute force attacks.
Yeah, but I think shouldn't this be more a Postgres problem than the operator one?
Well, if the operator is managing the secrets, the Postgres cannot decide to change the password by itself.
Precisely.
So
a question here, doesn't it make sense that the rotation of the credentials would be in the form of something like, let's say, like a HashiCorp Vault or something, modifying secrets? And we already have the operator will respond to updated secrets that hold user passwords and would implement those in the database.
But you can do that. If you update the secret, it can directly update that in.
Yeah, if you're using the managed the managed roles feature, and you keep the password in a secret and you update the secret, that will be automatic and transparently done by the operator. It'll update the credentials in the database for you.
Then this means that I can actually approach this from within the Helm chart. I can create however the Kubernetes cron job resource was called, and automate it. Then I'll try that, and I think you just solved my problem.
As long as you're using managed roles, if you're that will not cover the roles that were created on the post init and so on, but the managed roles, yes.
Absolutely. That I understand. Thank you very much. I think you've given me enough guidance.
Thanks.
I'll look into it when I can. By the way, speaking of timescale again, I have a pending pull request on the charts repository for timescale support via image catalog, and I would appreciate a review from one of you if you're able, just to verify that my work is correct. I can send you a link. dev chat in Slack or here?
Maybe dev chat is better, so it remains there for more time. But you could also add it to the. Okay, we can add
Maybe a
to the-
ticket, maybe a ticket, and then follow up in the chat, but the conversation stays in the ticket because I think after 3 months, Slack removes
Yes.
this. Yeah, 3-6 months.
All right.
Well,
That's everything
but
from me.
yeah, the best thing probably is to add that to the developer meeting agenda. So it remains here. It's something that we discussed here.
Okay, who's next?
I think it was just that thing remaining on the preemptible nodes. This work, and I've tried to get this kind of scheduled and included and considered a few times, and it just always falls off. So I'm thinking it would be worthwhile to attack this and do it in one of the releases at some point so that we make sure it gets looked at. This is basically the operator not behaving well when it's running on preemptible nodes.
And if we fix it, it's a good material for another blog post, probably. Like save your money using preemptible Postgres instances.
Okay. So what shall we do here?
By the way, I have encountered this during node transition. On Azure Kubernetes, they have very bad defaults for node upgrades. And I had a cluster in a failed state, similar to this ticket.
I don't know if is anyone here. Does anyone here want to work on these or?
Well, the reason I was asking in this venue is that I've mentioned this ticket several times in several groups of people, and usually it gets positive, like, yeah, we should do this. It's affecting people. And then we decide that we have to really quickly get up the next release, and it never is as part of the next release. So that's why I was saying, let's put this somewhere.
Let's try and get it in 124.
Great, thanks.
No worries. Anything else? Okay. Thank you then.
Good.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.